So this morning, for those of you that missed the sunrise safari, the royal family surprised us completely. They just popped out on quarantine right in front of us. And we followed them for a while. I don't know which of them caught a scrub hare. One of them caught a scrub hare. I think it was probably Xongile. She finished it off anyway. And they spent a little bit of time. What was interesting this morning was the way in which Karula handled the hyenas. So a couple of hyenas came wandering onto the scene, no longer really a threat to the cubs, just because they're so experienced with hyenas. But because they were in this open area, it seemed to me like Karula actually went forward just a little bit because her cubs were distracted with their kill, with that scrub hare kill. And they weren't particularly good stuff. There weren't any trees for them to shoot up. Just, she made sure she went forward, saw where the hyenas were, made sure the hyenas saw her, and distracted them, and then just calmly jumped up into a marula tree. And I don't know whether that was intentional or not, but I suspect it was intentional. I think that's part of her mothering instinct, and I think that's probably one of the reasons, that clever approach, is one of the reasons why she's so successful. Look at this. Could you get a more comfortable looking leopard? I know it looks so strange up against this concrete structure, but that is such a priceless picture. I'm sure that Quarantine used to spend time here. Now, I walk in the rain. You want to know if there are any countries in Africa that do not allow hunting. Botswana banned it, and as a sort of an experiment to see how it would affect the, let me try and phrase this properly, well, how it would affect the industry of the country, how it would affect the socio-economic situation in the country, and of course the conservation of animals in that area. Most countries, however, will allow hunting in one form or another. Whether or not it's legal is not always the case. Obviously, there's very, very high levels of corruption throughout the African continent. Sort of the further north you go, apparently the easier it becomes to bribe certain government officials. There are, now I'm being taking quite a cynical view, but there are plenty of governments that are fully committed, and ministers that are fully committed to conserving the wildlife of their country. So it's not everywhere. But in South Africa it is still legal. It is, however, monitored, and as I said, with the leopard hunts, they have to issue permits in order to do that, and South Africa announced that they would not be issuing any permits for this year for leopard hunts.